When I was about 11 years old, I lived in a small two-story house with my dad and older cousin. My parents had separated a year before, so my mom moved out, and it was just the three of us most nights. I had my own room upstairs at the very end of the hall, while my cousin's was right across from mine. My dad worked long shifts, often overnight, so a lot of times it was just me and my cousin in the house. At first, I liked the freedom. We could watch movies late, eat cereal for dinner, and play video games as long as we wanted. But there were nights when that freedom felt more like being abandoned, nights when the house didn't feel empty at all. The first time it happened, I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of footsteps in the hallway. At first, I thought it was my cousin, but then I realized the steps weren't coming from his room. They were slow, heavy, dragging. They stopped right outside my door. I lay there staring at the faint strip of light under the door, and I saw it darken, as if someone was standing there. My heart pounded so loud I thought it would give me away. I wanted to call out, but my throat was tight, like someone was pressing down on my chest. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. The steps didn't retreat. They didn't move closer. They just stayed. When I finally blinked, the light under the door was clear again. The steps were gone. I told myself it was a dream. But in the morning, my cousin asked me why I'd been walking around last night. A few weeks later, he came into my room looking pale. He said he'd seen a shadow crouching at the end of my bed when he got up to use the bathroom. He thought it was me until it stood up, taller than either of us, and slipped into the hallway. From then on, nights in that house were different. I began to dread going to sleep. The moment I'd close my eyes, I'd feel it. The pressure, that heavy weight on my chest, the sense of being watched, the paralyzing stillness. At first, I thought it was just sleep paralysis. I'd read about it before. Your brain half awake, your body frozen, hallucinations creeping in. But it didn't feel like hallucinations. It felt real, too real. One night, I woke to find myself staring at the ceiling, unable to move. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a figure in the corner of the room. It wasn't a clear shape, more like a smear of darkness, thicker than the rest of the night. It pulsed, almost like it was breathing. The whispers started then, faint, garbled words I couldn't make out. They grew louder, closer, until it felt like someone was right beside my ear. Don't. Look, that's all it said. Just two words, but they cut through me like ice. When I finally jerked awake, my cousin was shaking me. He said I'd been making choking sounds in my sleep. He looked terrified. He told me he'd heard whispers too, from his room across the hall. He swore he heard my name. After that, we stopped sleeping with our doors closed. We kept them wide open, hoping the hallway light would keep whatever it was away, but it didn't. One stormy night, I woke again to the feeling of pressure. My chest was pinned, my arms locked, my eyes wide open, but my body completely useless. This time, I didn't just see the figure in the corner. It was closer. Right at the side of my bed. Its face, or what should have been its face, was just an empty blur, a hole where features should be. It leaned down inches from me, and then I heard it again, but this time clear, almost human. Don't. Wake. Up. When I finally broke free and sat up gasping, my cousin burst into my room. He said he'd seen the same thing. He described the faceless blur standing over me, leaning down. We didn't talk about it after that night, not really, but the look on his face told me he wasn't lying. The worst moment came a month later. I woke to silence. Not the normal silence of night, but a dead silence, as if all the sound had been sucked out of the air. No wind, no ticking clock, nothing. I tried to move, and of course, I couldn't. But this time, it wasn't just the figure in the corner. There were two, one at the foot of my bed, the other standing in the doorway. Both tall, both faceless, both leaning like broken shadows. And I swear to this day, I felt their weight pressing on me, pulling me deeper into the bed, like they were trying to drag me out of myself. That's when I saw something I'll never forget. Out of the corner of my eye, in the reflection of my window, I saw myself, but not me. My reflection wasn't paralyzed. It was sitting up, smiling, watching. And then I blacked out. When I woke, it was morning. The window was wide open, even though it had been locked. My cousin told me he dreamed of me standing at the end of his bed, whispering his name over and over. We never told my dad. He wouldn't have believed us. But after that night, we begged him to move, and within a year we did. I'm an adult now. I haven't lived in that house for years, but I still don't sleep with the door closed. I still wake some nights with the feeling of weight on my chest, shadows pressing in from the corners. And sometimes when I glance at the window in the dark, I swear I see my reflection still watching, still smiling.